Hello everyone and welcome to the ESL Go4 number 9. This is actually straight into the final basically. And we're at Hockenheim GP. So why have we gone straight into the final? Well, it's an absolute cracker of a final, but not in the way you would normally expect. So we're just going to the end of my first flying lap. And I've had a pretty bad lap. I'm about a second down on my potential. We've got a similar thing to last week where Rotax and Popsu are like 5-6 tenths ahead of everybody else. Not quite sure what's happening there, but I do now, but I'll explain that in a little bit. As you can see, a 48.1, I'm after a 47.1 really, or a 46. It's coming into here, I go through here much better, but I get a bit of snap oversteer, and boom, straight into the barrier. So straight to the pits, but unfortunately, look at the fuel, it's gone to 80 litres. So my qualifying's effectively over straight away. But even so, it's going to make for a bit of an interesting race, to say the least. You can see my brake bias just changing. And that's a bit of a talking point later on, but as you can see I change it down to around 45. So there's the qualifying results, and you can see I'm ninth. So the main areas are my middle sector, obviously with all the fuel load, that's what's costing me. So let's get on with the race. So starting from 9th position, we've got a lot of overtaking to do. We're not expected to win, as I say, there's a bit of a speed difference there, which I'll explain in a little bit. I found out what it is, but even so we get a pretty good start, to be fair. We are behind TXRX07 and Iceman, and we're coming up to the first corner. So there's a bit of contact there. There's nothing major there between those two guys, but obviously that's going to give me a bit of a run on Iceman as we head towards turn 2. And you can see up front it's all tight, it's all looking clean and epic. So we're just going to this corner here, give each other room, which is very nice. And here I don't think Iceman realises I'm there. Obviously I'm going to be angry initially with that, but you can see Iceman actually pulls over straight away. So here I'm thinking, oh, actually he's giving me the place back. So first of all, fair play to Iceman, because he's giving up a lot of places here to give the position back. So really fair play. Really good stuff from him. You know, that's what ESL's about. You know, if you cause another driver to go off, as you see in front of us, Rotax's span, and I'm not sure who that was. Avalsonen went into him. But yeah, as you know, Iceman just caused a little mistake earlier on. Wasn't big, just didn't see me, and then gave the position back. So really well played. That's the good parts of ESL where it works. As you saw there, Ace had a bit of contact with Manx Man in front of me, just ran wide a little bit. So now we're side by side through this section, and last time we did this, we were against VP Isaac. This time it's VP Ace. Yeah, it is VP Ace, just double checking. So we are side by side. As we come into this corner, Ace just runs really wide. This is a tricky corner. If you go in there wide, it's tricky. So Iceman just tried to go down the right side there. I see him at the last second, so I just give him a bit of room. But I think he'd actually already tapped me a little bit there. No damage caused, you just went for the move there, and the gap just wasn't there. So we're in 9th place. We're back to where we started. So it's like the first lap didn't even count, but you know, we've already had a crazy bit of action with Rotax spinning at the hairpin and everything happening. So now we've got to catch up to the next group of people. So it's Manxman, Avalsonen, who I know will have damage, obviously, from the incident with Rotax, where he's just hit Rotax because he was there. And as you can see, there's lots of action in front of us, so we're catching these very quick. Avalsonen's flashing his lights a bit, not sure why. Didn't see why, but we're just coming into here. So he runs wide, and then this is very close. He comes right across my front end. Now, if this was Project Cars 1, he would have gone flying to the right into the barrier, because that would have done a pit maneuver. Obviously, the netcode's improved, so we can be much closer, and we go for the overtake on the inside this time. Now, he runs me really far to the right, which is fine, but then doesn't go back to the left himself. So as we come into the braking, he outbrakes me. I've outbraked myself a lot here, so I try and aim for the corner here to get me around, which works. He hits Manxman a little bit there, but even so I gain 2 positions, 1 corner, I'll take that. I've not done anything wrong there. That was literally the last of the late breakers, so anyone breaking after me there was not going to do very well at all. Just come through here, 3 wide behind me, it's crazy, and we've got that position. Hurrah! So up to 7th, so gained 2 positions. We've overtaken however many cars already in this race. And you can see there's another battle up front between Norby, Cooper Sport and RX07. So, you know, it's all over the place at the moment. People going up and down this order like no tomorrow. And just when it gets good, you just see that I'd nearly get a slowdown penalty for running 2 wide. You get one there for running 2 wide. Good to note that on the qualifying runs, if you run wide there, to invalidate the next lap. Let's move forward a little bit. So we've now caught up to this group. Nobody's accelerated away. RX-07's got past Cooper Sport, and we're behind Cooper Sport. But you just see RX-07 there running a little bit wide, and this is another good part of ESL play here. He's got a slow down penalty rather than slow down on the racing line. Of course, like an absolute crazy crash. Just moved out the way, fair play. Probably broken a little bit too much, if has to be really critical, because now he's going to slow down the pack behind. But even so, he got out of the way, which is fair dues. And now I'm behind Cooper Sport. Now I have a real cracking battle here with Cooper Sport. I think I'll commentate on this one. So, you know, we're just racing here. Nobody's got damage, or I don't think Cooper's got damage. So now I'm just trying to work out where to overtake him. I'm up to 6th position, so I'm already having a good race here. If I finish in 6th, I've gained 3 positions. It's a good race. But where can I overtake Cooper Sport? Now, here at the Hockenheim ring, the inside here is always a good place, but you've got to be careful on the exit. Obviously, I've got nowhere near the overrun there to even catch up to Cooper Sport, so we can just maintain this line. But you can see that I carry a bit more speed through the corner, because what you'll find with a lot of people on this track is they like to turn early. But that turning early, especially in these kind of cars, is damaging because it'll slow down your average speed through the corner. And you'll see when I'm behind people, so you'll see this quite a lot on the green and red bar for the accelerator and brake. You'll see me lift off and brake a bit earlier than normals, just so I don't hit them. Because I have never raced Cooper Sport before. I don't know his brake markers. I don't know how he races. Is he going to brake where you should brake? Is he going to brake 50 meters earlier? I don't know. Fortunately, he's braking bang on point, really, so we can start having a really good race and you start seeing me get closer. As you can see, he defends the inside line there, really well done. So I'm going to accelerate through here, get a really good run, but you can see there I'm just going down to 3/4 throttle because this isn't an overtaking place. I'm not going to go side by side here, it'll cause crashes. Clean, fair racing, that's what we're after. So we're going to go for the clean, fair overtake. So Cooper gets a good run out that corner as we accelerate towards the line. Start lap number 5. It's crazy to think of how many overtakes has happened in this race, but we're starting lap number 5. And here, just here, I spot a weakness there. So you see how much I caught up to Cooper Sport through that corner. It happens with a lot of people here at Hockenheim ring on that first corner. So he defends the inside line, really well done. So I'm thinking, let's go for the cutback here. Should have this, should get a better run out because we've got a better angle out the corner, long acceleration period. As you see, it gives me loads of room basically on the outside. But look at that, we're maintaining equal speed. So part of me, and I can tell you exactly what I was thinking here. Do I slow down, come in, and then get the slipstream to come back out? But then I think, no, I'll try out brake him into the corner. Not raced him before. He's going to brake early. He's going to brake late. He brakes bang on point here. So we're side by side into the corner. I give him room on the outside. And I start acceleration out. However, because I've given him quite a lot of room on the outside, you can see on the TV camera how much room I gave him. Too much space there. A bit of a mistake by me, really. I didn't manage to carry enough speed. So then Cooper's managed to stay on that outside line. So he's at the inside for this left-hander. Now in these cars, unlike the LMP2 with Isaac, the inside is far better here. So Cooper regains that position, really well played by Cooper, and some awesome racing so far. So I know already where I'm going to try and overtake at this point, because obviously you saw a bit of a weakness at turn 1, just a bit of understeer there by Cooper. See him dabbing his brakes to reduce his speed slightly. And we're just on the outside here again. As I say, this isn't an overtaking place. Very, very unlikely to happen because it's just really one car wide here without contact happening. But we saw first corner. I'm stronger in the first corner, and then obviously we've always got the hairpin where it's basically who's got the biggest balls braking, but without causing an accident. You can see the two behind us are catching us up, so that's on my mind as well at the moment because I don't want this to turn into a four-way. So if we come through the first corner again, you should see Cooper runs a little bit wide, get much more speed through there, but I had to lift off. I got too much. So watch me now. I just lift off, brake, come back in. Because this time, rather than being side by side with Cooper, because I've realised last lap he's going to brake in a really good spot, I've now got to think of a better way of overtaking. So I'm going to look for the slipstream. However, look at the run Cooper got out of that corner. He got a brilliant run out of that corner. So I'm going to have a lot of slipstream here, but I'm not going to have enough. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to edge my nose out a little bit, scare him a little bit. You know, I'm coming for you. And just stay there a little bit, and I come back in. But then look on the rear view mirror, and yeah, ouch, painful. So I think RX-07, unlike the last one where, you know, Joko turned into me and I went flying, and you saw that on the slow-mos, that I think he just completely outbroke himself. But he had a split-second decision: do I go right or do I go left? and he went right, and he sort of hit us. Now, you know, I did report that. You should report all contact, irrespective, in the ESL, and I had to give back the position 7 there. I guess it thought I gained an advantage, so I let Ace by, but then Ace has got a shortcut penalty, so he lets me by, and he flashes me over as well, so really fair play by Ace. But RX-07, I think he just came to the hairpin, missed his braking point entirely, went to try and take, well, took the wrong decision in the way you went right rather than left. But it's a you know, split second like that, it's making those decisions. So I don't think that was like on purpose in the slightest. You saw him earlier on, he moved out the way for the slowdowns. But even so, you should always report the contact, because then as a driver you will improve because you get a penalty. So yeah, I've dropped to 6th position, and Iceman had made his way through that. He had hit RX-07 as well when he stopped on the corner. But we caught up to Iceman again. You can see my damage down on the right hand side. So I've got 5 on the front end, 1 on the rear, and 1 on the engine as well. So you know, we're pretty damaged here. But Iceman has the same weakness as Cooper on that first corner. So I do the same thing again. You just see Cooper on the TV camera go flying on the first corner. Really unfortunate for Cooper. We had a cracking battle there. It's real fair play. So I make the move here. So I go on the inside and I stop. I stop on the apex. Now, if you think someone's going to do the cutback, and that's quite often the case at Hockenheim on that corner, slow down right on the apex. They can't go anywhere. They've either got to go dart to the left suddenly, which is going to ruin their whole straight here, or just stop on the apex. I don't mean fully stop, but slow down. As you can see, Iceman then gets a run with the slipstream. I've got engine damage, obviously, so I'm going to try and go for the cutback here and accelerate out, but I get just a bit too much oversteer, so I've got to just bring it back onto track. So he gets that position back. Oh, this is a good battle as well. So we've had some cracking battles in this. And I'm going to do the exact same things here as I did with Cooper. But rather than me talking over this one, I'm going to let you enjoy this and see if I can make the position even with the damage. So enjoy. I'm through! 5th position, but I've got to now defend that position from Iceman. Obviously I've got damage. I know Iceman has a bit of damage as well. Not sure who's got the greater. I imagine I have got the greater just because he hit me harder, but yeah, what a move there. And you saw how Iceman was much closer to me on the exit of the hairpin, but because I had the overlap, couldn't obviously force me off the track, but he had a much more momentum, whereas when I was against, was it Cooper earlier on? Obviously he then had the more momentum to go, well, basically I couldn't keep up with Cooper at that point, so he obviously gained a position. However, I did a sort of similar move, and I've just jumped forward now towards the last lap. So I'm just going to talk about why Tutuna, Popsu, Oscaro, just TX3 and Oscaro mainly, why they're so much faster, and whether I can keep this position from Iceman, because, you know, it's not all said and done yet. So with that speed thing, it took me ages, it took me a fair few hours after this race, because it was really bugging me at this point. As you saw on the qualifying, it was 49.4 on the middle sector, and that was impossible with the way this car runs, or with the setup I've got. So at first I thought it was a setup thing. Is there some way of getting a setup into the race? You know, is there a bug? Anyway, so after a lot of trial and testing, figured it out. So if you go to time trial mode, obviously SMS have two default setups. You've got stable and loose. Now the loose is meant to be for wheel users, and stable is meant to be for pad users, I think. And in the last patch, I think they changed everybody to standard. However, if you go to a time trial mode and change it back to loose, you go into an online lobby, you get loose again. Now the difference between loose and stable is quite significant in these cars. Downforce in loose is one less, and that's how I noticed it was speed as well, because I compared Rotax's speed to my speed at the end of the straight each time, and he was 2.5 miles an hour ahead of me every single time, irrespective of good bad corners. And even if you have a good bad corner at the end, as we just run wide, ooh, we can nearly get a penalty, but just as you get to the end of this straight, you should be identical basically because of air resistance and how much more power you need to get that extra mile an hour. So that's one thing I noticed. And also the camber angles change, the toe angles change. So this last corner that we're on now, you get far less understeer than you do on stable, which I'm in. Anyway, I trialled it, and then suddenly I was hitting their lap times quite easily actually. And when you do it solo, obviously the track is slower than when there's more people, so I would have been in there for the shout. But even so, that's the end of the race. And what a cracking battle there with Iceman and Cooper Sports in that race, and the other guys as well, VPS in the semi-final as well. I could have shown that race as well, but the video had been like half an hour. Congratulations to Popsuit for winning that one, but we're coming for you. I've told everybody what the difference is now, so expect Isaac and a few other people to suddenly reappear and fight for that victory. As I say, thanks very much for watching. Playlist there if you want to watch another one. My logo's there if you want to subscribe, but I will see you in the next video. Oh, and Merry Christmas, because this is the last video I speak to you before Christmas Day. So enjoy the day, and I'll see you in the next video.